Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode of Psycho Clown World. We're going to go over a few things. I hope you're ready. Get your popcorn and soda ready. And here we go. We are over here at zerohedge.com. Posted yesterday at 8 p.m., Monday, March 7th, a surprising explanation of Russia's invasion from a former top-level CIA official. Not sure how much of this we can believe because it's, three-letter government, but it starts to make a lot of sense when you really start looking into it. A surprising op-ed in MSNBC, of all places, arguing that Russia's invasion of Ukraine was likely preventable if the U.S. and NATO had merely tried to take a path of muscular diplomacy, and potential compromise appears to have slipped past the mainstream media censor and gatekeepers. Since the start of Tuesday, February 24th invasion, the prevailing narrative concerning Russia's motives have been largely limited to an ultra-simplistic Hollywood Westgate, I guess if that's how you say that, story that goes something like this. One day a big bully and monster named Putin decided he wanted to invade and kill people in a neighboring country, and that he further wants to resurrect the old Soviet Union. But in a refreshingly realist op-ed piece, MSNBC political columnist Zishan Alem, well, that sounds Jewish, doesn't it? Exposed the self-serving Washington narrative, which was intended more for the consumption of masses, as false. Alem points to a much more complex and nuanced reality, reminding the public of what should be obvious to any student of history, that the top diplomats and U.S. officials who oversaw post-Soviet negotiations, which is, before Soviet Union fell, with Russia over Europe's security order in the 1990s, knew full well that if NATO ever got expanded up to Russia's borders, it would be suicide. It was predicted decades ago that war would be triggered in such a scenario. Well, that's interesting. Almost makes you wonder, was this intentional then? Did they do this because they wanted the war with Russia? It's got to make you wonder, doesn't it? As the political relations professor and scholar John Mershimer put in 2015, what's going on here is that the West is leading Ukraine down the primrose path, and the end result is that Ukraine is going to get wrecked. Well, I'll say Ukraine is this little old thing, like they ain't got nothing like Russia does. People have no idea how strong Russia really is. They are self-sustaining. They don't need nobody else. They really don't. Relying on some of these past scholars and U.S. statesmen, the recent MSNBC piece describes a war that could have easily been avoided. The fact that NATO status questions was not put on the table as Putin signaled that he was serious about an invasion. So plainly that the U.S. government was spelling it out with day-by-day updates was an error and potentially a catastrophic one, yet no kidding. It may sound cruel to suggest that Ukraine could be barred, either temporarily or permanently, but entering a military alliance it wants to be in. But what's more cruel is that Ukrainians might be paying with their lives for the United States' reckless flirtation with the Ukraine as a future NATO member without ever committing to its defense. Folks, they've been playing, have you ever heard the term, poke the bear enough times, eventually he's going to turn around and he's going to swipe you? That's exactly what's happening. The bear is turning around and he is swiping and biting. He's had enough. Eventually a bear's going to get tired of getting poked, right? And then there's this. This guy is a paid actor. Check this out.
We're at a school where we've been sent a lot of children here. We're just giving out as much donations as we can. Sleeping bags, wool blankets, medical, medicine, toothpaste, toiletries. There's a lot of women and children inside, so we're just giving out anything we can to help.
Talk about sleazeballs crap. They know paid actors. Are you serious? Ukrainians are the ones behind everything that you're seeing. They're the ones putting on the fake show like a Hollywood movie. So go right on ahead, sheeple. Keep on supporting Ukraine. And then we got this. All women and girls must live free and equal. This International Women's Day, we think of the remarkable women of #Ukraine. Their strength and bravery and resilience are symbolic of the spirit of their nation. There's just one problem here, folks. Look right here. Take a screenshot and zoom in right here, center chest of this chick right here. Do you know what that is? That's right. That is the Saturn sign. That's right. The black star. Saturn. Satan. That's right. And what does this all tie back to? Does anybody know? The World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. This girl here has awakened, and she is not happy about it. Listen to this girl. You going to preach, girlfriend.
The World Economic Forum, as it was stated, Klaus Schwab, that said, we're never going to go back to normal.
Right.
Now the question is, who the hell appointed Klaus Schwab?
Exactly.
We didn't. Go back to normal. Who the hell is Klaus Schwab?
Preach it, girl.
I don't understand. Why are people giving up their right to another human being? Why?
Why?
Are people even human, as it was stated? Because what kind of human would want to impose such hardness on the human population? Why would any human want to cause so much pain?
Go on, girl.
Why? What do they get out of this?
She needs a soapbox to stand on for real.
And if they have nothing to hide, why they scared from us? If we're crazy,
Oh.
if we're crazy, right? They should be
Tell it. Tell it to the choir.
They can't do that because I know I'm speaking the truth. And that's why they're trying to get us on social media.
Oh, she on it. Guess what happens when you start poking the bear? The bear is going to turn around and start swiping you. Russia weaponizes energy. Warns it could cut off European gas supplies via Nord Stream 1. That's right. They don't knock their crap off, he'll shut them down. It comes out of them. He'll shut that thing down and they won't get no gas. I don't particularly care for that because there's a lot of good people in Europe. In England. I hope this doesn't affect England. I mean, I know people in Germany all over the place. I mean, right here, that's not good. I have friends all over in Europe too. This is not good, folks. But what do you expect a bear to do? Continue to get poked? I don't think so. Before we go jumping in on this, listen to this. This just in. Putin signs a decree restricting imports and exports of products and raw materials to ensure the security of the Russian Federation, RIA reports. That's RIA. The list will be determined by their government. Folks, they are shutting down their borders. They're shutting down any imports and exports. They are going self-sustaining. Middle finger to the rest of the world. Russia doesn't need everybody else. They're going to prove that everybody else needs Russia. They are flexing hard. You want to poke the bear? Go on ahead, because that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. Now to move on to this. Director General Statement of Situation in Ukraine. This comes directly from who? None other than the International Atomic Energy Agency. Today, it was informed that it was becoming increasingly urgent and important for the safe management of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant to rotate some 210 technical personnel and guards who have been working there since Russian forces took control of it. Oh boy. Almost 2 weeks ago. In contrast to the current situation, for staff at Ukraine's operating nuclear power plants who are rotating regularly, the same shift has been on duty at Chernobyl NPP since the day before the Russian military entered the site of the 1986 accident on the 24th of February. In effect, living there for the past 13 days for the regulator said. Wait a minute. What? These people they're still going there since 1986? I wonder what's going on there. And Russia just went in there and took control of it? I'll almost guarantee they're not wearing a bunch of hazmat suits because there's no need for it. It was a lie to keep it hidden. I mean, what better way can you keep people away from a location than to make a false story saying, oh, it's nuclear, it's all nuclear waste, it's all bad, blah, blah, blah. No one's going to want to go near it at all. They're going to want to stay away from it. Pretty clever, wouldn't you think? I think so. And here is where the United States and the media and it all tied back to Israel, which are the ones that are funding Ukraine. Dual citizen Israel passport holders Chuck Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, and Richard Blumenthal are on the Senate Judiciary trying to stop the Kavanaugh confirmation. Why? That should make everybody go, Things that make you go, Oh, look at this. CNN. These are all Jewish symbols. Are they all Jewish? Think about this. If Jews represent just 2% of the U.S. population, would it be odd for a media organization whose parent company has a Jewish president and a Jewish majority of C-level executives to also have a Jewish president and Jewish vice president, a Jewish majority of executive vice presidents, and a lead political anchor, chief political correspondent, chief political analyst, chief political director, and chief national correspondent and chief Washington correspondent, all 6 of its chief anchor positions, who are all Jewish, as well as a majority. At least 13 of the networks currently running shows having Jewish hosts. That's right, CNN, New York Times, Fox, oh yeah, NPR, CBS, NBC. That's right, folks, all Jewish. It's got to make you wonder, are they all just pushing false narratives to push us off, to kind of hide things? What's their narrative? I wonder, are they part of the cabal? Yes. Oh boy, here we go. We are over here at gov.pl. That's right, Republic of Poland. This is their website. Statement of the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Poland in connection with the statement by the U.S. Secretary of State on providing airplanes to Ukraine. Poland, listen, you better sit. Remember what happened to you in World War II? You remember? You guys got dominated. You might want to sit your little butts down before you get twisted T-smacked. With everything going on at the pumps, everybody, I know everybody's feeling it. Look at this. Saudi Crown Prince gives Biden the cold shoulder. I do not care what he thinks. Prince of Saudi Arabia be like, what? Psh, forget that. I don't care. Guess what else happened in Russia today? McDonald's to temporarily close 850 stores in Russia. Yeah, because in Russian response in the country invasions of Ukraine. Yeah, don't believe that part of it for a second. Believe that 850 stores got closed, but that it was by Russia because they know the bullcrap that's going in their meat. Let's just say there have been traces of human DNA. That's right, folks. Stop eating at the Golden Arches. Stop eating any fast food. It's nasty. Oh my gosh. There's lots of levels to this and lots of things going on, so all I can say is welcome to the 3-Ring Circus.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro, polka dot, Afro.
Even though they're clowns, remember folks, these are killer clowns. And they are from outer space, because they dang sure ain't from this world. Because the human instinct is to love, not to do the stuff that they do. Which means they ain't from here. Which means they're from outer space. Remember folks, keep our eyes open. No fear. And remember that love is the only way forward.